please do not watch this video if you don't want to increase your IELTS or Duolingo scores. I will repeat. Do not watch this video if you don't want to increase your IELTS and Duolingo scores. So of course, I'm sure you would like to maximize your test scores, right? So if your answer is a yes, then please do continue watching this video. Hi, this is Aumidil from Adjective Education, and today I'm going to talk about how to maximize your Duolingo and IELTS bank scores. So what do you do if you have got an exam, an English test or an English exam to take? Yeah, I mean, there are so many things that you will probably do, right? First, you may buy some English exam preparation books that you think can be helpful for your test. Yeah, or maybe you will enroll for the test preparation course, or you will seek a tutor who can probably help you with the English enhancement. And of course, nothing is wrong. Those are correct, right? However, you usually forget to do one big thing, which I think is an important step or an important thing to do when you have to take an exam. And it is understanding the band descriptors. So if you are taking the IELTS, of course, you have to understand the marking criteria of the test of the IELTS. If you're taking the Duolingo test, then you need to ensure that you study the marking criteria of the Duolingo test before you take the accurate test, so that you probably get high scores. So it is, I mean, it's a very simple game, right? Because it is an exam, it is a test, you need to understand the marking criteria. You cannot say or you cannot take the exam as you want. There exist specific regulations, rules, and marking criteria. And I've seen so many students taking exam preparation classes and purchasing exam preparation books, but they usually forget to have a look at the band descriptors. I mean, especially my IELTS students. So what I've been doing and helping my students to achieve their target score is, first, I encourage them to understand the marking criteria of the test that they are taking. So today, as I told you at the beginning of the talk, I'm going to share with you one of the strategies that can help you to maximize your scores when you take either TOEFL, IELTS or Duolingo, okay? So let's have a look at the speaking band descriptors of the IELTS. I'm not sure if you can read the band descriptors clearly here. In case you can't, don't worry, you Google at the end of my talk. Just type, IELTS speaking band descriptors, then the public version of the marking criteria will pop up, and you can just download it and keep it with you for further study purposes. Today, I'm gonna focus on the lexical resource, right? So as you have seen, there are four points, right? Fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical, range and accuracy, and pronunciation. And let's focus on lexical resource today because the strategy that I'm going to give you is related to it. So it says that if you want to achieve a band 7 in lexical resource of the IELTS speaking, you need to do these things, right? You can read what is written on my screen, and you will probably notice the one that I highlighted in red, which is paraphrasing. So if you, regardless of the test that you are taking, if it is an English proficiency test, you cannot escape from paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is compulsory in all English texts. So in the IELTS, of course, it's mandatory. If you do not paraphrase, then it is likely that you will not receive high scores. All right, so this is time to talk about what paraphrasing is and how to paraphrase effectively and successfully. So paraphrasing is, of course, retelling or rewriting a phrase, a sentence, or the story with different vocabulary or different grammar. But you need to ensure that the original meaning remains intact. You do not change the original meaning, okay? If you change the original meaning, then it's not paraphrasing at all. So that's paraphrasing. And let's see how we can paraphrase effectively. And there are actually more than 3 ways to paraphrase, but I have picked up only 3, which I think are easier and quite effective to be done. within the time frame that we have in the exam, because we don't really have much time to paraphrase, to speak, to write in the test. So I'm gonna give only 3 easiest ways to paraphrase. So first, it's called synonyms, right? So you will be using synonyms to paraphrase the question, to paraphrase the information that you see in the text. When it comes to synonyms, there are 3 approaches or 3 things that you need to keep in mind again. First, adjective synonyms. For example, this is a huge house, or this is a big house, or you can say, oh, this building, this house is enormous, colossal, gigantic. So something like that. And verb synonym, right? Let's say like, oh, smoking is not allowed in this building. Or you can say smoking is not permitted in this area. Something like that, you see? So it's really interesting, right? Even though you change the word, the original meanings, they remain the same. So that's called paraphrasing. And of course, there are also some noun synonyms, right? Holiday, vacation, something like that. No? And I think you can also add one more thing, which is adverb if you want. But most of the time, as long as you are familiar with adjective, verb, and noun synonyms, then paraphrasing will be quite easy for you. No? So that's the first approach. And now let me give you the second. Oh, before I give you the second approach, now let's go to this one. So mini exercise. So let's say I'm going to Rangoon tomorrow. So I'm going to Rangoon tomorrow. You can pause the video for 20 seconds and think of how you can paraphrase the sentence that you see on my screen. So, ဘယ်လို paraphrase လုပ်မလဲလုပ်ကြည့်ပါဦး So, pause လိုက်နော် video လေးကို ဆိုတော့ခုနကကျွန်တော်ပြောလိုက်တာဒီ noun synonym, verb synonym, and then adjective synonym. So, here, so what can we do? ဘာလေးလုပ်လို့ရမလဲ Of course, ကျွန်တော်တို့လုပ်လို့ရမှာဒီ verb synonym. So, if you would like to paraphrase this sentence, probably you can consider these options. There can be more than 3 options, right? These are just sample answers. Your answer may be different from me, but you can still be correct, okay? So that's it. So that's called paraphrasing. And we approach paraphrasing with the first approach, which is called synonyms. Okay, so synonym နဲ့ကျွန်တော်လုပ်ပြီးတော့အဲ့တော့ now before I give you my second approach, I would like to let you know that I'm offering IELTS Foundation Preparation and Duolingo intensive preparation courses. So if you would like to maximize your IELTS or Duolingo band scores, Duolingo scores, then come and study with me. You can just send a message to our Facebook page messenger, and my colleague will help you with registration process. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you in my class. And without further ado, let's go to the second approach, which is changing grammar. So let's say you see one sentence written in this or that grammar. And for that sentence, you can change it or you can convert it into another sentence by using a different grammar structure. As you can see my example on the screen, although it was raining, I went to school. It's the same with despite the rain, I went to school. Right? I changed the grammar structure, but the meaning is not different. It's quite similar. In fact, it still remains as it is. You see? So that's called paraphrasing with approach 2, with changing grammar. Oh, for example, like when you change grammar, of course, like although, even though, right? And then despite the fact that, in spite of, what else? Oh, both and what else? Like because, as due to the fact that things, or something like that. Oh, active, so maybe passive voice. You see? So this is how you can change your grammar, okay? And now let's go to the third approach, which is combination of approach 1 and approach 2. So the example sentence is that many Canadians eat about 75 grams of fish a week. And the way I paraphrased that sentence is approximately, you see, about go to know approximately approximately 75 grams of fish are consumed. So eat go verb synonym ဖြစ်တဲ့ consumed ပြောင်းလိုက်တယ် by many Canadians weekly, right? A week go weekly ပြီးတော့မှတခုကျွန်တော်ပြောင်းထားတယ်သတိထားမိလား Do you notice it? Yes, no? နော်ဆိုတော့မတ်မိပြီနော်ဆိုတော့သတိထားမိသွားပြီဆိုတော့ the given, the original sentence is written in active voice right အဲ့ဒါကိုမှကျွန်တော်က passive voice ကို change ပလိုက်တယ် so that's a beautiful way to paraphrase yeah เนาะအဲ့တော့ approach 1 2 3ပြီးတော့အဲ့မှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဟုတ်ပြီဒါဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကျွန်တော် IELTS speaking မှာ or even in TOEFL or Duolingo မှာပဲဖြစ်ဖြစ်ကိုယ်မေးခွန်းတစ်ခုခုမေးလိုက်ပြီSo, what do you do in your free time? That solution, there are different ways that you can answer that question. And one of the ways can be like my number A. Oh, in my free time, I do this or I do that. Nothing is wrong. Grammatically sound and grammatically correct. However, I do not recommend you to stick to that pattern or that approach because you are just copying everything that you see in the question. So you should not copy the question. Instead, you have to paraphrase the question. So I suggest you go with either B or C. Of course, it is obvious that number C is so much better than number A and B. For example, well, there are so many things that I do in my spare time. Firstly, I do this because, and then you give a reason. And then in addition, I sometimes do this, and then you do the fact that, and then you keep talking about it. Okay, this is actually one of the ways that you can use to maximize your scores in the English tests that you are taking. So if you would like to know more strategies and would like to enhance your English proficiency and would like to maximize your IELTS Duolingo scores, then make sure you come and talk with us and I look forward to seeing you in the class. Bye-bye.